Hello to my wonderful patrons and or people who waited a whole year to see this, if Earth is still here in a year. How you doing? I'm about to crack off, what is this, episode 74? Oh wait, I need something for a thumbnail. Today's gimmick is I have to talk at half speed, and I don't really know how to convey that in a thumbnail, so I guess this. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? I need to think of an opening line. Don't have a topic for today, so I don't know what the opening line is going to be about. Do you have any idea how fast you were talking? And then this is where the theme song goes. Oh, I never realized I could move this over. Oh, wow. It moves it over a whole inch. That makes things a lot easier for me. Also, sorry about the lighting. Oh, right, the theme song. You're listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 74. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert will be joining us later than usual in the episode. But first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level, and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. Do you want a notebook with the Fix My Carcast logo on it? And then people can be like, wow, I bet you created Fix My Carcast, and that's all your wacky podcast ideas. And then you can, take their wallet while they're distracted. Go ahead, try it. No new donors this week. The total raised for paying off my car repair debt is still holding at $1,501. Also, when we get to $2,000, we unlock an automatic show gimmick, which is I will watch all the Fast and Furious movies back to back and then record my podcast at the end. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $3,000? Then again, if a podcast falls in the forest and nobody listens to it, why is a raven like a writing desk? Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever, unless somebody else changes it back. Want there to be no theme song? Ooh, wait, was that an option? Something to think about. $50 to find out. No new patrons this week. Hey, did you know we don't have a single patron named Destiny? Weird. If any person named Destiny or Destiny's Child or Date with Destiny or Destiny Turns on the Radio joins my Patreon by the time the next episode is recorded, I will title that episode Guess What's in My Mouth, regardless of the episode topic. Come on, Destinies, put it in my mouth. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is the cult I was in as a kid. Yeah, no joke, full on, weird contradictory beliefs, shunning, all that shit. If you want this to be that kind of podcast, donate today. A reminder, my new ambient album Ethologue is out on all kinds of streaming services, so please go check it out, leave a review, tell your friends, etc., etc. Check the links in the description to start getting ambient. Look, ambient as a genre doesn't mean anything to most people, but if it means something to you, that's what it is. Checking in on the best city in the world based on which city listened to the last episode the most, and we got us another singles night tie. Ties are broken by whichever city listened to the most episodes, and our big winner is once again Biddeford, Maine. Congratulations, Biddeford, Maine. Let it be known that your Speedy Mart, Joe's Tavern, and Lemon Tree are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode, I talked about my experiences looking for a job while doing another secret gimmick. You can watch video of just what exactly that secret gimmick was, and perhaps some bonus footage of me doing another gimmick I'm much better at, over on Patreon. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I talk about my history with the secret gimmick, and also how good that new Michael J. Fox documentary is. By the way, some good news. I got a job! That's right, no more talent agency for me. My new career that I intend to proudly do forever is builder. That's right, I got a job as a builder. I'm going to be building things. They haven't told me what I'm building, but I start next week. I can't wait to start building things. Keep it right here for all those builder updates. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: burn one personal belonging of mine, recite all the Back to the Future dialogue from memory, text a relative we need to talk, or upload the episode at double speed. Once again, that's burn one personal belonging of mine, recite all the Back to the Future dialogue from memory, text a relative we need to talk, and upload the episode at double speed. There are no returning gimmicks because y'all ain't voting. Remember that, excuse me, we don't have a burp button. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday. I forgot to write the date in this one, but let's wing it. Let's say the 8th. How'd I do? Probably horribly. Oh God, let me look right now. It's the fucking 8th, y'all. That was impressive. The poll closes Thursday, June 8th at noon Eastern America time. I'm parched. I needed a wet. All right, time for today's gimmick, which is talk at half speed. Now, you're welcome to keep listening to this episode as you are now, but for maximum fun, I encourage you to tick your podcast player's speed function over to 2 times, 2x. If your podcast player doesn't have that function, I encourage you to not waste the next 40 minutes of your life and perhaps write a letter to a grandparent. If you're out of grandparents, I don't know, listen to a podcast about fly fishing. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the gimmick zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. There's no sponsored topic for today's episode, so I'll take inspiration from a randomized Wikipedia page, which is Daniel Webster. Now, I'm a pretty big English nerd, so when I see this, I think Daniel Webster, the dictionary person. I'm pretty sure that's the right Daniel Webster, right? Of Webster's Dictionary? It's worth noting that I'm fairly stupid about a lot of things, and I'm now thinking Daniel Webster is not a dictionary person. Nope. I was thinking of Noah Webster. I think Daniel Webster did something to do with the devil. Ha, ha, ha. Boy, I really shouldn't be allowed to do anything that involves the brain. Anyway, it's okay not to know things. That's what Wikipedia is for. So I got Daniel Webster, and if you're watching the video version, you can see that it's not Daniel Webster the person, but Daniel Webster, the 19th century pilot boat, built in 1851 in Chelsea, Massachusetts. I wonder if this boat still exists. Nope. Oopsie. I live in Columbus, Ohio, Maine, which is not very far from Chelsea, Massachusetts. So I got pretty excited to maybe go and see it. But now I have lost all hope. Oh well. Let's learn more about Daniel Webster the boat. So it looks like Daniel Webster was a pilot boat. I don't exactly know what a pilot boat is. It turns out it is a type of boat used to transport maritime pilots between land and the inbound or outbound ships that I am already bored learning what a pilot boat is. So let's just say it's a boat, which is technically not wrong. So we are going to move on. If you are at 2x speed, how am I doing so far? To be honest, I am taking inspiration from a very old internet meme which posited that when you play any clip of the actor Jeff Goldblum at half speed, he sounds like he's drunk and rambling about nonsense. I would like to say that from my own experience, I kind of think any human being at half speed sounds like they're drunk. That or they sound like if John Wayne was doing interpretive dance. A pilgrim. I also just tried to drink at half speed. I hope that sounded fun. I should have brought a bunch of Foley artist prompts to experiment with half speed. Here's the housekeeping knock. A word of note, we're still in the gimmick zone. A handy tip to figure out if we're still in the gimmick zone is if I'm doing something really stupid. Though that's not always a giveaway, as I am often doing something very stupid. That was kind of a Seth Rogen laugh. Hey, let's learn more about the Daniel Webster. Oh, that's right. We refer to boats with female pronouns. One of the only times that people reliably use pronouns. Daniel Webster, she was sold to the San Francisco Pilots Opposition Line in October of 1853. What were these pilots opposed to, I wonder? In 1864, she sailed for Shanghai, China, to be in the pilot service. She operated in Shanghai until 1892, when, as I mentioned earlier, she was lost in a storm. So, Daniel Webster, was born in 1851 and died in 1892. Sorry, I was doing math. That means Daniel Webster, may she rest in peace, was only 41 when she died. I don't have much experience with boats. I've only been on a few. Some of you probably want more details about this incredible lady pilot boat, Daniel Webster. But my improv brain would rather go deep into my own personal history. With boats, I've been in kayaks and canoes and inner tubes. I have a rich uncle who owned a boat. The name of the boat was also the name of a song by pop star Hoku. When I mentioned this to my uncle, I'm pretty sure he figured out that I'm queer right away. That, or just wished that I would stop talking. I also once went on a whale watch off the coast of Maine. I did not see a whale that day, unless you count the whales that I saw in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, as it was my birthday and I had been gifted whale watch tickets. Interestingly, if you do not see a whale on your whale watch, you get to go on another whale watch. Presumably, statistically, some poor sucker must keep going on whale watches and never seeing a whale. I would look this up right now, but I feel like I'm supposed to stick with our friend Daniel Webster. Again, that's Daniel Webster, the lady pilot boat, and not Daniel Webster, the presumably manly person who I don't know what is notable about him off the top of my head. If I scroll down, it looks like the original Daniel Webster was an American lawyer and statesman. When Webster died on October 24th, 1852, the pilots of the... I thought the boat was named after him because he died, but it turns out he was still alive. The pilots tried to attend the manly non-boat Daniel Webster's funeral, but when they sailed to Marshfield, Massachusetts, they could not come ashore because there was not enough wind to pilot the lady boat near the shore. That's got to be a real bummer, but also kind of funny. What a delicious beverage. I still have 28 minutes to go, but for you, that's just 14 minutes. I really need to get better at doing math. And then maybe I would have a better job and I wouldn't have to make this podcast, which would be sad because this is my favorite thing to do. Please give me money. By the way, thank you to my friends Danny and Kate, who gave me money at my Venmo, which is also an option, but it doesn't go towards the podcast total. Some people do not want to be involved with any of the horse shit that I'm doing, other than being poor and not wanting to be anymore, because my life has been a progressive series of punches in the face for almost a decade now. But don't worry, it gets better. Happy Pride! After losing the Denison J. Lawler Boston-built, presumably lady pilot boat Dancing Feather in 1853 to the newly established San Francisco... I'm sorry, I fell asleep. I'm just going to scroll through the article for exciting things that happened to this boat. Shit. Nothing interesting happened to this boat other than the lack of wind at Mandan's funeral. But I'm not here to talk about Mandan. I'm here to talk about prominent lady boat Daniel Webster. I guess I'll have to read the boring part again. Okay. Oops, I burped. Sorry about that. I don't edit this show, which is becoming abundantly clear. Hey, the Daniel Webster sailed from Boston to Cape Horn to get to San Francisco. What is this, a fucking math problem? Here is a list of the company on board, and suspiciously they all used their initials instead of a first name. Are you ready for a list of several letters at half speed? Check this shit out. we've got W.W. Neal, C.L. Abbott, D. Murphy, W.E. Dornett, and O.E. Sampson, featuring Chris Kattan. I made up that last one because I was starting to do a voice kind of like on Saturday Night Live. I couldn't remember what the name of the band is, and I almost said the Max Weinberg 7. I would rather try to remember the name of the band on SNL than learn any more boring things about this boring prominent lady pilot boat, Daniel Webster. Alas, the Daniel Webster served the Are you enjoying a fucking maniac reading a very short Wikipedia page to you at half speed? Is this doing it for you? Is this how you get your jollies, you yummy little freak? If so, shoot me an email. It doesn't have to be about what you're into. Maybe just send me a nice recipe. I have so much more time to fill and no Wikipedia to do it. I ran out of boat stories from my own life. Wait, that's not true. I just thought of a couple because I'm so quick-witted, and I'm gonna tell you another one right now. One time my sister and I went out in a boat. It had, I think, an outboard motor, but I'm not smart about anything that you build or that makes a noise. Anyway, we ran out of gas, and so someone had to paddle out to us with a paddling type of boat to help us get back. Wait, no, I'm misremembering this. We had a paddle with us for emergencies, and that's how we got back. Isn't it funny how memory works like that? I remembered the paddling, and I remembered doing the paddling, but why would I remember paddling if I was the one in the boat being rescued? Ha! I do sound drunk right now. Let me think of a famous line of Jeff Goldblum dialogue to try to illustrate this. Take 'em out. Take 'em down. Do your stuff. I feel like I could quote the movie Independence Day mostly from memory, but not as well as Back to the Future. I'm just trying to say things that sound interesting, and the more I do, the drunker I sound. Alright, let's see what's up with this fucking boat. Did I tell you who the captain was? Captain William R. Lampy, a maritime pilot, and Thomas Cooper as his apprentice, and the rest, who have all these initials. Well, wait, the boat also had owners These people don't even have names? It just says Shelby, Palmer, Reddish, and C.L. Abbott, who was mentioned above. This sounds like a law office. Do you have problems with your prominent lady pilot boat? Time to call the offices of Shelby, Palmer, Reddish, and Abbott. Hey, Abbott! Now I'm kind of doing stream of consciousness. Did you know at one point I memorized the entire Who's on First, Abbott and Costello routine? Now I'm really stretching. Why did I bring it up at all? I don't know. Third base. Anyway, let's fill some more time. Don't I sound enthusiastic? Right, the ship sank and that's all it did. Who gives a shit? I'm kidding. I'm sure a lot of people think boats are cool. I remember hearing a story from a friend who liked history. I know, right? They actually exist. Ha, 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 ha. Shout out to my historical lovers out there. I mean history lovers. I don't have all the facts. Hold on, I need another drink. It'll be a quick one. That was a good drink. That was like doing a shot, which it sounds like I've done a lot of. Good God, I still have to fill 16 minutes? That can't be right. Let me do the math. Whew. Oh, I did the math and it's 16 minutes. Now 15. I have nothing left to read on this goddamn Wikipedia page, and I have to fill 15 minutes. Wasn't I telling you a story about a boat? Okay, here we go. This is a non-personal boat story, but it does involve pirates. The only time that boats are interesting. That's not true. I'm just being catty. That's what comedy is. You say something a little mean and you apologize if people can't handle it. I think if I knew what comedy truly was, I'd probably have more listeners. Ha, ha, ha. This is the 74th episode. I'm glad you tune in every week for all the fun. Just a big, lovely, positive time here on Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy. Okay, time to talk about American piracy. I could be totally wrong about this, but somebody once told me a story about a ship that tried to go down a river and people attacked it from the riverbank and successfully commandeered it. That's pretty badass to pull off piracy without a boat. I think it's the only recorded case of piracy in American fresh water. But again, I'm just Cliff Clavin here. If you don't know who Cliff Clavin is, this maybe isn't the podcast for you. That said, I have some hip and modern interests, like the MCU, I guess, which started in 2008, and holy fuck, I feel old. Anyway, back in the year 2049, the current year, let's try to suck some facts out of this Wikipedia page. Oh, baby, Daniel Webster, prominent lady pilot boat, has measurements if you want them, but don't be sexist when you're sexualizing a lady pilot boat. But here's what you want to know. She's got a big ass. That was a reference to Al Pacino's delivery in the movie Heat, but I think he says great ass. Oorah. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me right back in. Something about Dunkachinos in an Adam Sandler movie. I think I was in The Merchant of Venice. You know what's good for merchant stuff? Boats. Check out prominent lady pilot boat Daniel Webster's big ass. Or is that big aft? Did I use the correct terminology? Anyway, this big, beautiful bitch is 77 tons. TM, which I would think stands for trademark, but that doesn't make any sense. Oh, you hover over it and it tells you, but if your screen isn't properly positioned, oh, TM stands for Thames Measurements, also known as Thames Tonnage. Sounds British anyway. Miss Daniel Webster is 77 tons. Her class and type is schooner. I don't actually know what schooner means other than a type of boat, so let's put some knowledge in our heads. Ah, fuck. It loaded weird. Let's open link in a new tab. Okay, a schooner is a type of sailing vessel defined by its rig. Fore and aft rigged on all of 2 or more masts. And in the case of a two-masted schooner, the foremast generally being shorter than the mainmast. There you go. Now you know what a schooner is. Maybe you already knew what a schooner is, in which case you've probably stopped listening to this episode due to all the boat disrespect. Hey, I just remembered another thing about my rich uncle's boat, which was called Just Enough, which is the title of a Hoku song. If you don't know who Hoku is, she's the singer behind Another Dumb Blonde, featured in the film Snow Day, and Perfect Day, featured in the film Legally Blonde. I almost got those backwards because one of the songs has day in the title and one of the films has day in the title, but they're not the same one. Wouldn't Perfect Day be a great description of a snow day? And wouldn't Another Dumb Blonde be a fitting song in a movie called Legally Blonde? Holy crap, I'm blowing my mind with Hoku facts right now. Disclaimer, Elle Woods is not a dumb blonde, but the song could be used in the first act to set up the stereotype that she eventually overcomes by stereotyping gay people's knowledge of shoes. This concludes the Hoku content for the episode about prominent lady boat Daniel Webster. Thank you for following me on this journey. Anyway, my rich uncle who has a boat, and come to think of it, my other uncle also has more money than me and may also own a boat that I am unaware of. My rich uncle's boat had the engine overheat while I was on it, and we ran into trouble and had to pour several cases of bottled water onto the overheating engine. I'm not sure how old I was, but the song Another Dumb Blonde by Hoku was on the radio at the time. So you can do the math because you can probably do it faster than someone who is talking at half speed. Anyway, it got pretty scary. I could see steam coming off of the engine, and we just kept pouring bottles and bottles of bottled water onto it. Though once the water is out of the bottle, it is no longer bottled water, technically. I feel like I've moved from being drunk to being high. Anyway, my uncle had to get on the radio and tell whoever you talk to on a boat radio that we were in trouble and we may require assistance. We ended up making it back to shore just by pouring lots and lots of Poland Spring onto the part of the boat that makes it go. Wait, that's technically inaccurate. I would say probably the propellers. This boat also had sails. So if I recall correctly, a combination of dumping water on the engine and using the sails got us back home. But for a boat idiot like this one, Bear Claw Billy, I was very scared that I might die at sea. The only thing that gave me hope was that we had made a call to get picked up, but we didn't need it. We made it back to the dock, and I never went on that boat again. Rich Uncle, I don't know if you are listening, but if you still have that boat, maybe I could record an episode of Fix My Car Cast on your boat. Oh, wow. What if my uncle hasn't raised the money to fix that boat, and he has his own podcast called Fix My Boatcast? That would be freaky, and also highly unlikely because he's rich, because he makes good decisions. Then again, he's had at least 4 wives that I know of. So who's laughing now, Rich Uncle? Just kidding. I miss you. I hope all is well. Okay. This seems like a pretty good time to start winding the show up. Oops. Blooper reel. Ha 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 ha. I wind the show up at the beginning, not at the end. All right, folks, I think it's time to go. But let's get some important statistics out. All right. Wait, this is all stuff that I've already told you. Launched, out of service, fate sank. I really love how succinct that is. 4 letters and 4 letters. Fate sank. No fate but what we make. Sank. Not to go out on a down note, but the subject of the episode literally sank. As always, try to stay afloat. Jesus Christ, I feel crazy right now. Oh my God, I kind of hated that. Like, I liked it, but I didn't. I am so curious if it actually looks good sped up. Also, have I been out of focus this whole time? Probably. Clearly, I can't focus. Even when I talk at half speed, I go in 9 different directions. Are there any stories there that I forgot to tell? That Hoku thing genuinely blew my mind. Perfect Day is from Snow Day. Another Dumb Blonde is from Legally Blonde. Nope! Switch them. Other way around. Holy fucking shit, that's wild. There has to be a Reddit post or a Tumblr post or something about that. Yeah. Anyway, here's to you, prominent lady boat, Daniel Webster. Catch you on the bottom of the sea.